everybody, welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Cube, founder of the Kokomo Con, and currently putting together the Comics Cube Excelsior Scholarship. Today I'm joined by one of my best friends in the entire world, Lauren Gray, whose middle name is...
Renee.
Renee. Very first serious girlfriend's first name was Renee. Maybe, connected. I don't know. So, lots of stuff going on in the geek world. Welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while. We've had your husband filling in for the last couple of weeks while Mike Harrison continues to be on hold. And there we go. Except now we're going to take a break while we let the cops in. All right, sorry about that. We, in the city of downtown Kokomo, just had some vandalism occur in the area of the Geek Street. So we have the fine police constabulary coming in.
Constabulary, that's a good word.
To take care of business. So we'll see how it goes. So in geek things, you don't. I'm sure that somebody died, but in prominent deaths, nobody that I can think of off the top of my head. Huh?
Bozo.
One of the Bozos.
I don't know. I didn't follow Bozo.
An actor who played Bozo, whose name I don't remember, has passed away.
Yes.
But over the years, there was several people who actually played Bozo, like Ronald McDonald. There was several people who played Bozo. I always thought the most famous was the weather dude. Not Wilford Brimley, but the other dude. So there's a famous weather guy from one of the talk morning shows that was Ronald McDonald and Bozo. And Frank
Abrick.
Abrick. All right. But here in Kokomo, I was just going by the old Apperson Book Exchange. I'm like, I'll pop in and see if they got something. I haven't been there since last summer. It was closed.
Oh.
So it's been, I went there for the first time sometime in probably the late summer, early fall of '91. And I'm sure it had been there for years before that. And I said I was just in there last summer. I picked up a book or two. So sorry to see an establishment like that go away. I know a lot of geeks and nerds probably got their science fiction, Star Trek. I know I was getting a lot of Robert Aspirin books there. The Myth books, I bought almost the entire Myth series in there. So sorry to see it go.
Yeah.
Got anything like that? Anything? Toys R Us, kick the bucket. You got a eulogy for Toys R Us?
Eulogy for Toys R Us? No, I don't. The founder of it, though, the original CEO, passed away, and I think it's a little sad that he didn't own stock in it anymore. He didn't really have a stake in it, but just see your empire kind of crumble right before you pass away is really sad.
Especially the way it happened. Just the whole situation is awful. So it appears, yes, you do now have to grow up. You cannot be a Toys R Us kid. We are evicting you into adulthood now.
And now there's a thing where KB Toys is trying to buy their storefronts.
So there's a situation that the venture capitalist who bought, raided, destroyed Toys R Us on purpose also owned the KB Toys name. Had sold off approximately 6 months ago, sold that name to another group who is actively interested in actually creating something instead of destroying and profiting from that. So yes, there is a chance. Now, I would think what I am hearing from different YouTube news reports and things like that is what they want to do is starting this winter, this Christmas season, fourth quarter, you'll see them probably do pop-up stores in malls, much like you see the spirit stores, the Halloween stores, the fireworks stores that pop up in fairly big places. So look for, if they're going to pull this off, fourth quarter, KB comes back to malls, and maybe even strip malls, who knows for sure, and does this kind of pop-up kind of a thing, get their feet started, test it out, make some money, and see how it goes. So could be really interesting. It's funny because I
remember KB Toys more than I remember going to Toys R Us.
Exactly. Toys R Us was in, I guess, bigger cities maybe. We always had KB, and then we also had something else in Kokomo for a couple years over where there's now a church, and then there was Was it?
Toy Warehouse.
Toy Warehouse. That place was crazy big. Oh, man. So love that stuff. So sorry to see Toys R Us go, especially in the manner in which it got destroyed. But hopefully, maybe out of it will come KB. That'd be kind of fun. But also, I think maybe it's a statement to where we're at. You know, your child, perfect example. What, 6?
Yes.
Oh, and 6. He has been watching toy reviews on YouTube since he was, what, 3?
Probably.
4?
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. And, you know, I had, and our producer had, like, Sears catalog, which was our wish, and it was literally called the Wish Book. And Christmas would come around, or your birthday, and you would pull it out, and you'd start folding pictures or circling and making notes. And, like, you know, this was your fantasy draft for football for kids and toys.
Absolutely.
I mean, we took this stuff pretty seriously. But you're like Owen, man, he's like, boom, I want this, this, and this. And not only does he want it, but he's like, because it has these features. And I mean, it's just crazy.
And when you get it, if you get it, he knows exactly how to operate it before you even put it together.
It's crazy. So I don't know. I mean, between Amazon and Walmart and Myers and other big discount type stores, and just ordering it online or Kickstarter direct. I mean, how far are we away from toys being, you know, a Kickstarter kind of a thing?
Yeah.
So something to consider. So in the wonderful world of geekdom and news, we got to see this week Deadpool 2, the newest trailer.
The newest Red Band trailer, because you're not seeing that anywhere on cable television.
Oh, I popped it up in the store. Luckily, nobody was really there because it didn't. When you watch it on YouTube, it doesn't show you the red band.
Yeah,
like, what's going on? And then the profanity starts.
Oh,
and it doesn't stop until it's over. Initial thoughts?
I loved it. I laughed the entire trailer. I thought it was great. We see Terry Crews as Bedlam, and then you see the X-Force, you know, get together, and I liked it. I'm ready. I'm jazzed.
Great jokes about that as well.
I mean,
X-Force. One after another. A lot of stuff coming out of it. It looks really sharp. Test audiences are seeming to really like it. I thought I had heard or read somewhere initially that test audience had not liked it, and they were doing a bunch of reshoots. But then yesterday when I said that, somebody was like, no, it didn't. And so I looked it up, and the test seemed to be
really positive.
Rave reviews. So.
I loved Josh Brolin looked great as Cable, and I liked the very end when they were talking about you don't need a trilogy, or you don't need that third movie. Just stop when you're ahead.
Plus, we'll see. And it's kind of funny. You know, they're breaking the fourth wall a lot. They're talking. They're doing stuff. A lot of the jokes are aimed directly at you face to face.
Negasonic is back.
So yes, but she didn't look like she was part of X-Force.
No.
So she didn't look like that she was going to be a part of that, which is too bad. So we'll see how that all goes.
Did we see him in Professor X's wheelchair?
Yes. Well, you see him in a wheelchair. It seems Professor X. He's kind of just doing some wheelies and stuff, other craziness. But one guy I noticed in it was they mentioned that he's there for the kid. And then they show a kid, and that kid is Julian Dennison, who I was like, that kid's very funny. If you've seen The Hunt for Wilder People, which is kind of a lower budget, I want to say it's either Australian or New Zealand, is where it came out of. Also stars Sam Neill, Event Horizon, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Basically, it's them in the outback. He is an urban kid who has been put into a social services kind of situation, and is put with these outback kind of people, and for the first time ever, he's actually getting some attention and things are going well. But it is a slapstick, nonsense kind of comedy with some dramatic elements in it.
So the perfect kid for a Deadpool movie.
As I said, it's the outback of like Australia, but his idol is like Tupac. It's like, gotta understand the words of Tupac and stuff like that. So he should be absolutely perfect to fit into that particular role. And speaking of Sam Neill and Jurassic Park, you've got some information that's coming out.
Yes, Jeff Goldblum's been doing some little teasing interviews or whatever about the new Jurassic World that's coming out this summer. And the last one that he just did, he hinted at maybe the return of Laura Dern's character from the original Jurassic Park movie, Ellie Sattler, which is Sam Neill's love interest from way back when. So,
because she's not shown up in a single trailer, haven't heard her name.
It'll be interesting to see if
Maybe she got
Plays
into an
out,
escape
or-
pod before that ship blew up.
Oh, maybe, and then just hurled herself
the
to.
slowest galactic space chase ever. But yeah, Laura Dern last seen in Star Wars Force Awakens, and now being rumored to possibly be in Jurassic World.
Yes.
So these are obviously bit parts, but I mean, if you're going to do them, I guess make the ones that make billions of dollars.
Absolutely.
So it's not a bad way to go, really. I don't know what else she's been in, but okay. What you got? What's been fun and exciting? What's been keeping your geek drive going
Keeping
lately?
my geek drive going lately. The Supernatural, Scooby Doo.
Is it good?
Crossover. I haven't watched it. It's
Okay.
not. I don't think it's out yet. They just announced it, or they.
Oh, May 9th?
May 9th.
Okay.
This month.
Oh, 29th.
The
Got it.
29th
So-
of this month.
Gotcha. So
There will be
airing
a
the next
Supernatural
episode.
Scooby Doo animated special.
That'll be awesome.
So it'll be interesting to see that. Yeah.
The only thing that would make it better is if it opens up with like the old after school special like twirling thing and the music, and they just really do it up, just crazy. I'm way behind on my Supernatural, very much enjoy it, but I do love the like off kilter episodes that
Oh,
they've
absolutely,
done,
yeah.
where they time travel or something weird happens. I still want to. I think it's episode 200 where they go to a girls' school and the girls are doing a play based on the books that are in the real world, and it's an all-female cast.
I love all of the
doing
book
them.
plot lines, like when they have to go to like the president of the fan club of the books, and they're like, see our tattoos, we're like the biggest fans of Sam and Dean, and it's just so funny to put them in the situation.
You look nothing like him. So that stuff's that's a lot of fun.
They're in love with each other. They're gonna kiss. They're brothers.
Doesn't matter, man. In other CW news, Matt Ryan, who starred as John Constantine, not on the CW originally, has just been announced as coming back as a full-time part of Legends of Tomorrow for season 4.
Oh.
So we get season 4 has been approved. He's going to get a go-ahead, which has been always kind of iffy for Legends, but he has appeared in 3 episodes so far as John Constantine on Legends. Going to be showing up, I think, in a 4th, and now they're bringing him back. So, and they had done previously on Seed. There had been a John Constantine Hellblazer cartoon. That's I think they're a couple of minutes each, like they had done a Vixen cartoon. So, this character, this Matt Ryan guy, is stuck with it. He was also the voice of Constantine in one of the DC movies. I think it was Dark Justice League or something like that. So he stuck with it. 2015 is when the John Constantine thing came out and got canceled, and 2018, 2019 he's going to be getting, the part again
Legends of
full
Tomorrow.
time. So
Nice.
it
Good for him.
it just goes to show. I think you stick with something a little bit, it can work out for you.
Kind of on the flip side of that, Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Yes.
What do you got for us?
So it came
Exclusivity?
out, well, no, I wish. Dan Harmon came out and said, because someone on Twitter was talking like, hey, why aren't you working on Rick and Morty? Why aren't you, trying to churn out the episodes? You have all of this fan base. And he said, well, quite simply because Adult Swim hasn't ordered season 4 yet. And so everybody kind of took it. Some people were like, oh, okay, we get it. But a lot of the Twitter base took that to mean, oh, it's canceled. Rick and Morty's canceled. Rick and Morty's not coming back. And there's a huge difference between not ordered the season versus we're not going to, or it's canceled, or outright saying no.
When did season 3 come out?
This past summer.
Yeah, it was this past summer.
So it's been a minute.
And before that, it was like 2 years. There was 2 years in between season 2 and 3,
Oh, wow,
or a
okay.
year and a half. It was quite a while. And Adult Swim does this with virtually all of their shows.
Sure.
They'll do a lot, and then we're not going to do anything for a while, and then do some more. They did it with Metalocalypse. They did it with the Venture Brothers.
There's a thing to be said about absence makes the heart grow fonder. I would imagine that they probably don't have a giant budget. I'm not that familiar with Adult Swim, but and honestly, making you wait a little bit, you're going to make you want it that much more.
Oh, absolutely.
So plus he'll end up, whoever's got the rights to sell merchandise and stuff. I mean, that show doesn't look that complicated. I have not watched it, but I would imagine that you could probably do your own Rick and Morty.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very
episodes.
cerebral. The animation style, I enjoy it, but yeah, it isn't like very intricate as far
In
as
South
that
Park, you
goes.
knock that out in like less than a week.
They
or something
do
per episode or something.
6 days per episode.
You know, so
From writing to.
So I would imagine that this probably could be very close to something like that. I would think
It could be.
All right. So, Laura, you ready for a little game?
All right.
Sean doesn't ask for much on the show.
Okay.
Mike's always like, I want this picture here, I want this done here, I want this. Sean doesn't do that.
Okay.
You know what? These guys got other things to do.
Yeah.
But I think now we're going to start a game. It's going to be a weekly game.
Okay.
And we're going to keep score.
Okay.
So the only thing I need the producers to do is find a way to keep track of our score.
Okay.
On an ongoing basis. That's it. So every week we talk about movies, we talk about TV shows and stuff like that.
Yes.
Black Panther has made all the money in the world.
Yes.
It turns out that this week the world will run out of money because it will not make all the money. So I've determined that means we're out of money.
Yeah.
Pacific Rim is going to come out.
Yes.
So I am calling my shot, much like I did last week incorrectly.
So World 1, Sean 0.
Pacific Rim is going to finally beat Black Panther.
Okay.
I had it as Tomb Raider, and I will point out that if you go back and watch the episode, I was very close on my Black Panther numbers. I was dead on.
Yeah.
However, it appeared that Tomb Raider, which I have seen, and we can discuss that here in a minute, woefully underperformed. Holy cow, for a tentpole style movie, they sunk the tentpole in like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and like I think that much. The waves just lap over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like even seagulls are like, I don't know, I want to sit on that. I don't know. So, this is how the game's going to be played.
Okay.
Every week, whoever's the host and me will pick the movie of whatever the week is.
Okay.
You will call your movie.
Okay.
Whatever's going to be number one at the box office. If you are correct, you get 5 million points, which equals dollars.
All right.
Then you will then guess how much money that the movie is going to make that week.
Who's going to pay me the $5 million?
It's just our points.
Okay.
They're just points.
All right.
At the end, when you get 5 billion points, just pick Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You get a free coffee.
Okay.
So,
Coffee.
so this week is, you pick any movie you want for this week. Number one, 5 million points, $5 million.
Okay.
You will then also choose to say how much money that movie is going to make. However much money it makes that you say Pacific Rim's going to make, $100 million in week one. If it makes $100 million, you get 100 million points. However, it's Price is Right rules.
Okay.
If you say it's going to make $100 million and it only makes $50 million, you lose 50 million points.
Oh, so I just can't say $1 and
you can
win
say
by
$1
default.
and you will only win $1.
Okay.
So the idea is you want to get as close as you possibly can to what
Okay.
you think the real thing is going to be. But if you go over, you're going to lose however much you go over by and get no points.
Okay.
So with that said, we
This
have
seems very convoluted.
Oh, I made it, so of course it is. I'm all about that. That's yours.
Okay.
This is mine.
So this week?
So you pick which movie you think is going to be number one.
All right.
I'm going to just tell you, it's going to be Pacific Rim.
That's what I was going to choose.
I'm going to
I'm
get
sitting at my computer with an abacus, charts
two.
and graphs.
And then,
And when does this end?
how,
Like, how many points does the winner?
we just, we keep going until we don't go anymore.
Okay. Till they get bored.
Then how much money it's going to make. Now we have to decide what's the time period. Is it just the weekend? Because isn't that usually what?
I think till Monday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday they report the weekend box office.
Yes, whatever Monday's
So-
report is.
So it started last night, so we'll go, Thursday through when it reports on Monday. All right, how much money does Pacific Rim? All right. Woo! All right, 81 million. Lauren is not screwing
I
around.
think people want to see giant robots and giant monsters fighting.
True.
Okay, quick question.
Yes.
Is this just domestic?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
just-
well, I didn't.
Well, I don't know where. We don't know where it's all opening up at.
Okay.
I mean, you can change it. I mean, if it was opening in China
you know what?
at
I'll
the
stay
same
with-
as the United States,
All right, US. Go see Pacific Rim.
See, he's only 28.
All the monies.
81 million. All
Yeah,
right,
well,
I'm
I'll
going-
stick with 81,
I'm
that's fine.
60. And the reason I'm going so low is after Tomb Raider, I'm gun shy. I am still super shocked that Tomb Raider made such little money. So I'm gonna go with 60 million because I think Black Panther's still gonna rake in 20 million, 18 million. I'm gonna pick Black Panther number 2, 18 million. So that doesn't get us any money.
That's reasonable.
But, all right, so there's our.
When it's time for Avengers Infinity War, can I just say all the money?
All the money. Crazy. Speaking of Avengers Infinity War, Fandango is reporting that pre-sale tickets have already beat the Black Panther pre-sale tickets. Black Panther had held the record for money made on pre-sale tickets from a Marvel movie. Now, taking into account that Black Panther is already over $1 billion
yes.
and is like number, I think, 3 or 4 in the all-time money-making mark right now or something crazy like that, as well as possibly the number 1 comic movie. It might still be behind one of the Avengers flicks at this point. It's still gaining money. It's still doing very well.
Yes.
So what's that say about Avengers Infinity War if it's making more money in pre-sale than Black Panther, and Black Panther took all the money?
Well, I think everybody's ready for this. They're all ready to see just the amalgamation of all of the movies coming together. There's a lot of memes out about it right now because of what Marvel said, or Disney said.
What did they say?
They said it is the most ambitious crossover ever. And so people started putting up pictures of like the Ninja Turtles and the Power Rangers and like other things that people have done. They're like, no, we think this crossover is actually more ambitious. There's like a SpongeBob and some wrestling guy, but it's now gone viral and everybody's putting up these memes, so it's just getting it more, not that it needed any more.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy.
News, but
Black Panther, again, over $1 billion, and now looking at it, it's just a 2.5 hour long trailer for another movie. Not to take anything away from it, it's a great film.
Oh,
but
it's fantastic.
As you're saying, it got everybody so jazzed about Marvel movies again that it was almost, because it's really not that far. It's what, less than 2 months, I think?
Well, I think it helps because now you get to see T'Challa and, everybody.
And for sure, whatever her name is. And then the newest previews have come out. I think it might be the last, they're saying, preview, where you actually see the Guardians of the Galaxy interacting with
the team.
terrestrial team. And that was hilarious.
And Iron Man just looks like he can't be bothered.
Oh, yeah. It's a great plan. So, man, there's some good stuff going on. So lots and lots of fun. In oddity news, very excited about this. Very interesting. Want to see what happens. All right, so Stanley Kubrick.
Yes.
One of the most well-known directors of all time, but also incredibly odd. Just an odd individual. His dedication to the craft bordered on insanity. He was rough. And it was believed and reported and told by everybody that after the filming of The Shining, all of the material that wasn't used for the final cut was burnt. Literally set upon fire and gone. Turns out there's an Italian auction coming up. His assistant's like, yeah, that's what we told you. By the way, I have the longest cut of The Shining ever before, and it includes a deleted scene. And it includes a deleted scene with, what is her name? I'm horrible.
Wendy
and Danny. But I was trying to remember her actual
Shelley
name.
Duvall.
Shelley Duvall, thank you. Shelley Duvall. So he has got a cut that features the material that wasn't burnt, with an actual real legit scene with those two characters. Right now, and this is what's killing me, the starting price, now that's just starting price, but starting price is only $3,700. I mean, we could literally just combine a couple of our people and at least bid once on what should be, I don't know. I have no clue. Obviously, when you buy this, you don't get the rights to The Shining. You're just going, is it just private use? Can I go show it somewhere? Because everybody's going to want to see it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's almost now, or does the studio come knocking on your door? All right. You got to think that the studio's got to have deep pockets. They obviously would want this. This is the cut that they can now put out and make even more money.
I would say if I was a studio executive, buy that one.
So, and this all seems legit. This is, I'll have to actually read it because there's Stanley Kubrick's assistant, Emilio D'Alessandro, has listed a handful of memorabilia from Clockwork Orange, Strange Love, Full Metal Jacket, Eyes Wide Shut, But the two biggies are, one, this ultra rare cut, longer than any other version we've ever seen, contains deleted scene that has never been released to the public. A quote, long cut of the original film, The Shining contains the scene in which Wendy, played by Shelley Alexis Duvall, carries Danny, played by little Danny Lloyd. These cuts given by Kubrick to Del Solandro are particularly rare because the director notoriously burned all the leftovers at the conclusion of editing. The other piece in the auction, and this one's starting at $12,000, is the actual burgundy corduroy jacket that Jack Nicholson wore, which is cool, but man, how does that beat, this...
A cut that nobody has ever seen, but probably Kubrick himself and the assistant.
This is crazy to me, so something to think about. Are you a big Kubrick fan?
I am,
Are
yes.
You? All right.
I do enjoy his work.
Do you think he filmed the moon landing?
No, I don't.
A whole little documentary about
I've heard about that, yeah.
I was like, what? So, there's a documentary out there.
I think he was crazy enough to be able to do it.
Yes.
But I don't think he did it.
There's a little documentary. It was on Netflix, and it basically follows 3 or 4 conspiracy theories about The Shining. So you get a big Shining documentary, but then from 4 different really nutty points of view, and one of them was all about the fact that it alludes to the fact that he was the one that filmed the moon landing, and and then they pick out all the reasons why. And there's a couple others too that are just very odd and kind of strange and fun. So
I love that stuff, that kind of stuff.
A friend of mine, Brian K. Morris of Writing Tide Publications, is starting a Kickstarter for a book called The Ghostly Tales of Spencer Spook. Spencer Spook is a golden age funny ghost character, kind of like a grumpy Casper kind of a thing. So lots of comedy and slapstick kind of stuff. And he is doing over on Kickstarter a Kickstarter to recreate the book. And now he has already completed it. It's done. The art's done, the coloring's done, the lettering's done. It's done. He's just trying to raise $2,000 so that he can pay the talent that worked on it. And he is, according to what he's saying, he is not going to take a cut of this. He will make his profit from then going to shows, selling the book as a distributor, seller, and making his money that way. So it looks like it'd be all ages in the way that comic strips are all ages, like a Beetle Bailey kind of thing. Sometimes there might be stuff in there that's a little grown up, but it's always done in a tasteful, all ages kind of manner. So for fans that want something that's a little bit more traditional, go over to Kickstarter. Check out Brian K. Morris is Kickstarter for Spencer Spook. It's up to a little over $700 already.
Oh, cool.
And it only needs $2,000 to make it. So that's kind of exciting.
Yes.
Mike's not been here in a while.
Correct.
Mr. Harrison.
Yes.
He's been busy off. I believe he's on safari in Africa right now. He was looking for Wakanda, which I thought was a little odd.
Yeah, that's weird.
He was bound and determined to get us a live interview with T'Challa. So, hey, good luck to him. But recently, information came out. Chris Evans has announced that he is retiring after Avengers 4. And this upset Mike a little bit.
Yes.
So we wanted to discuss that. So we don't know what's going to happen in Avengers 3 and 4 yet. But with one of your main actors, Chris Evans, the Captain America, coming out saying, by the way, I'm done. Retired. I'm retired from the Marvel Universe. What do you think? I mean, does that... Obviously, it leaves room for speculation.
Absolutely. I respect his choice. If you've dedicated, how many years of your life to this one character, and now you're like, okay, I think I've done everything I want to do with him. I think it's time for me to step back and go pursue other options. I absolutely think he should do that. There wasn't just a Steve Rogers Captain America, so they can just open that up for whatever storyline they want to do as far as the Cap storyline goes. So, yeah, I say more power to him. If he wants to step back and step back away from all that money.
It's good to be in a position, I suppose, where you can say,
absolutely.
I got enough cash.
But then Disney could come in with their truckloads of more money, and then maybe he'll change his mind.
Well, he's got a cool out, or at least Marvel U has a cool out, because in the books, as you pointed out, especially in the more recent years, at one point Steve died, and Bucky, the Winter Soldier, took over, grabs a shield, and becomes Captain America. And he's a little bit more of an aggressive, darker Captain America, but he's still Captain Americas out there. And they're definitely in a position that if they wanted to, they could go down that road and we could continue with that sort of thing. But does the average movie fan go with it? Over the years, the average movie fan has accepted new James Bonds. But that was always still just James Bond. It's just a new guy taking his place.
Yeah.
With this, it's actually going to be a storyline where if you were to do the Winter Soldier storyline, this other actor now will take in and stuff. Do you think fans would accept that, or would there be issues?
I think they would. I think movie-going audiences now are smart enough to realize, oh, hey, let's see where it takes me. Now the actual fans of Chris Evans might be really upset that they won't get to see him as Captain America anymore, but...
I don't know. The other guys, I think he's got a lot of chops, so it could be
absolutely.
Very interesting. Have you checked out Jessica Jones season 2 yet?
I have not.
I have not either. So looking forward to being depressed. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's great, but man.
Yeah,
every
I need to be in the
episode-
right mood to watch Jessica Jones,
Yes.
so that's why I haven't, because I just really...
If I was the kind of guy that went home and like popped open a bottle of wine or something to unwind at the end of the day, well, I'm thinking maybe that would be the way to go. I'm like, man, it's so depressing.
Yeah.
So crazy stuff. Coming up this week, Gym City Comic-Con over in Ohio. I think it's Dayton. The week after that, March 30th through April 1st, you have Hoosier Game Con going on, which is a free gaming convention, as well as the Indie Comic-Con coming on, which is bringing in a lot of big name stars. Then the week after that, April 6th through the 8th, you've got C2E2, which is in Chicago. And amazing convention. It's absolutely huge. If you want to see, the closest we probably get to a San Diego kind of a thing, and it's not even close, but as close as we get, that's probably your show to go to. It'll bring in a lot of amazing talent, a lot of big names. Him. Bendis is going to be there. Just left Marvel to go do Superman for DC. So probably one of the biggest names. He's going to be at that particular show. So a lot of crazy stuff coming up. So there you go, people. That's it. I'm out.
All right.
That's all the news that I think you need to know. There's a Lady and the Tramp live action thing being done. I don't know if anybody cares about that. Who cares?
Real quick,
Yeah.
your opinion. Tomb
Yeah.
Raider.
Tomb Raider opinion. It's meh. You have seen better action. You've seen better stunts in other movies. You've seen better stories about groups trying to find things in other movies. There is no standout, spectacular anything. The cinematography is meh. The action is meh. The stunts are meh. The story is meh. I was excited about the film. It does feel like they got a lot of video game elements into it. But overall, this is going to look great on Netflix or HBO or whatever digital service you've got. I wouldn't pay money to see this at the big screen. It's not worth it. And I think it killed any hopes of possibly seeing a sequel at the big screen. There's no point in doing it. It's not very good. Bring on the Uncharted movie now, and let's see if that can salvage it.
Absolutely.
This was just
I'm saying it's a
unspectacular.
solid C.
Yes, I mean, even in the realm of bad movies, it doesn't because it wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
It just nothing about this. She's not likable for the most part. She's not that interesting. The whole story itself is just your typical crap. It is what we would have played in an RPG session. And we would have had better effects in our minds. So, solid miss it. Don't worry about it. Best part about it is there isn't an end credit scene. Basically, the movie ends, and then immediately there's a bonus little scene, like the movie's over, and she goes into a pawn shop where she'd pawned something earlier, gets the item back that she pawned, and then they're showing her, she sees in the back they have a bunch of weapons, and then she pulls out 2 big guns. He goes, I'll take them both. That was no joke. The best scene in the movie for a fanboy. And she holds up the 2 revolvers and looks like Lara Croft, and you're like, that's pretty cool. And then she does the whole, I'll take them both. And yeah, so that's it. Hey everybody, thank you for watching GeekStorm. Until next week, I'm Sean Hilton. Regardless of that, I'm still Sean Hilton. This is not Laura, this is Lauren Gray.
I am.
Be groovy, everybody.